Okay.
It's
Just
giving
looking
part
at this
two. That's all. It's giving
side eye, bombastic.
bombastic side eye.
Um, okay. Where we left off,
Yes, on
um,
African
was
parents,
just
their backhanded comments
yes,
being negative.
backhanded comments,
Yeah.
right? And what it took, or like, what was the moment that you realized you had to make that switch?
Yes. So I essentially it kind of all started in 2020 actually. That was the beginning of what I like to consider my tower time, my tower moment.
Mm,
And for anyone that knows about like spirituality and going through it, you sometimes have to go through a tower moment. A tower moment is when God really brings you down so he can build you back up. So for everybody, 2020 was a hard year, right? Like
yeah.
COVID, things were happening, sure. That year I graduated college, but I didn't get my graduation, of course. I my boyfriend of 8 years had broken up with me for the second time, lol.
Mm,
I had lost a lot of family members from COVID and just all around unhealthy. So I don't have it anymore because I don't like to claim it. But
mm,
I had a condition called hidradenitis suppurativa, HS, and it
mm,
was at its worst. Like that's when I got my most flare ups, back to back surgeries, you name it. So I really was at my lowest up until the point in the relationship that I was in was very toxic and
mm,
unhealthy that I ended up getting in after. So when I had moved back home, because I was living in Virginia at the time, I lived in Hampton, actually, Hampton, Virginia. When I moved back home, I knew something had to give. I
mm,
knew that I couldn't be the same way that I was before. I didn't want to create that same space, but I didn't know what that meant to change it. I was like, I hear people all the time say, "Oh, I changed," or I made a difference in my life. But I never knew what that looked like because I hadn't seen that in my surrounding areas. You know what I mean? I'd never seen anybody go from this to something else.
mm,
It kind of just, in my mind, it just happened for them. They're just lucky enough for that to happen, right?
mm,
So when I decided that, or when I started to learn that you are the creator of your life, that you have full control of not all experiences, but you have more control than you think you do.
yeah.
Um, I started to say, okay, what can I do now to create this safe space for my inner child? Because I'm like, okay, this has to happen in order for me to be at a place where I'm comfortable enough to say, okay, I'm not sad, I'm not depressed, I'm not unworthy or whatever. I have to be able to ensure myself that, I am all of these great things that I want.
Mm,
So it really first started with just affirmations.
yeah.
But then I'd see like videos on TikTok, really shout outs to TikTok and YouTube, where I started to learn that the power of words and the power of the tongue. And so I knew that I would talk negatively about myself, but it was so second nature that it didn't seem like it was bad. It was just like, oh, you ain't that good. You can't. It
Yeah.
was just whatever. I didn't
Yeah.
think that it was as bad as it actually was until I sat down and I remember someone was talking about doing mirror work, and it was so hard for me to do. It was hard for me to look into the mirror and tell myself good things because anytime I would say one good thing, I would remember seven other bad things. In
Mm,
actuality, you're supposed to switch it. For every one bad thing, you're
you
supposed
got
to follow it up with seven good things.
it. Mm,
But I was doing the opposite part.
yeah.
So when I realized that that was the case, I said, okay, obviously there's a lot of work that I have to do. Why is it that my first reaction is to go to sadness, is to go to negativity, is to go to doubting myself, is to go to, oh, people don't really care about me, oh, I'm not worth that, or I'm not da 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 da. So when I started taking the time to ask myself why, I started going down a rabbit hole. It brought up
Mm.
this friendship that I was in, and I got comfortable with this idea, and I was okay with that, and I let them tell me that.
Woo.
Or it was that one auntie that I was close to that I thought liked me, but in actuality, she was tearing me down because she was insecure of herself. Or, my parents, not necessarily their fault, not their fault, of course, but the situations that they were in, going through the divorce. I never wanted to be the girl with daddy issues, right? I
Ooh.
said, I'm not the girl, you daddy issues, girl, never me, never that. But I
It's never a
thought
good thing.
what I thought daddy issues were wasn't that at all. It was the lack of not feeling that I mattered to my dad, right?
Yeah,
To a man.
yeah.
And it started to dwindle and show itself in my relationships. So really I didn't notice all of the things that I was doing wrong until I started paying attention to myself. I felt like I was the best way that I could explain it was I was living my life on cruise control, and I realized that sometimes you have to stop the car. You got to stop at a red light. You got to slow down. Sometimes you do have to refuel for gas. Sometimes you got to pull over and just give yourself a moment. Sometimes you have to just speed through this. Sometimes you got to slow down. But I was living on cruise control. I was just going. But I said, you know what? No, I'm going to take my life off cruise control and be in control of my own car. And I started being in control of my car. So when I realized that, that's when I said, oh, you know what? Let me take this exit right here because this might be a better road for me to go down, a better mental road to go down. Oh, you know what? The speed limit is 55. There's no need for me to go 57. Yeah, I can speed through. But if I'm going too fast, I'm going to get pulled over and be upset when I could just slow down and just cruise and be okay with life. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So I just started taking control of my life, and it's been a journey, especially trying to rebuild relationships that were not okay. Like I'm now building a relationship with my mother. I'm now building a real relationship with like friends and actually looking as to why are you a part of my life? I didn't even know that we can ask those types of questions. What is your intention in my life? I never knew that those are questions to ask. But now whenever I meet someone, it's not for face value. First of all, you're not going to come in my life until I allow that space to be even presented for you. Because one thing about me and God, I've already prayed about it. God, show me introduce me to people or introduce me to the people that's supposed to be a part of my life. Yeah. And if that means that you're in my life for a season, I'm going to be the best version of myself in that season. But when it's time for you to go, respect, you gotta go. You gotta go. Okay? It was nice knowing you.
Hey, man. Damn, dog. Hey, man. Yeah. Yo.
I'm telling you, it's facts. It's facts.
Hold on.
Okay.
Because
right.
When I tell you this was supposed to happen, like, picture this.
Okay.
I'm gonna just share the feelings. I'm not gonna share the
Do it.
details. I'm gonna share the feelings. I was really feeling like there were people in my life who I spent so much time creating a space for, and they were never there. I'm carving, like I'm carving a jump. I'm like, yo, this seat is just for you. Like, ooh, okay, bet. And then when they sit there, and then I was just waiting, and I was looking at them make all different decisions and just sit in the seat that I created in my mind. And it was really and the feelings is I'm really grieving that. Grieving the time that I lost trying to fuel that. I'm really grieved. Like I really sat there the other day and was like, yo, I'm really having a hard time with this picture, right? And I'm not quite sure what the immediate solution is, but I know that there's a way that I feel, and I know that it's true. Like I know it may not be true to like the overall to everybody else, but I know I know what I'm talking about.
You know that you know that you know.
I know. And it's been playing on me because I feel like because of the circumstances at hand, I need to play my part.
Right? Yeah, for one, I want to let you know that I acknowledge how you felt. And I completely, when I tell you, get it, I get it. Again, to kind of piggyback off of the people pleasing thing, I was the person that tried to be the best for everyone else. The best friend, the best cousin, the best shopper, whatever, just the best everything. But I realized that doing that, I was really filling other people's cups, and I was filling the cups of other people that wouldn't even put a droplet of their cup back
Yeah.
into mine. And it sucked when you start to pay attention to who it is, especially the ones that you never thought it would be. Okay. When it's blood, when it's your best friends, your childhood friend, the people that you thought you were in love with, that significant other that you thought was going to be forever. When you start to realize that I created a safe space for you, but you chipped away from my happy corner. But I thought that was okay. Because I'm like, no, you're my friend. I want to help you. I want to be the best. I want to. And it's like, that's great. But like, what about you? What about you? And I had to start asking myself those hard questions.
Yeah.
You've done this for other people. I know that I'm the type of person that likes to help people. I feel joy when I know that I put a smile on your face, right? So I don't look, if I give you a smile, you're supposed to give me a smile. I don't ever expect that. Never. But when you are equally yoked in any friendship, you should never have to expect it, because the base of the relationship is so. If I know that you make me happy, you don't have to go above and beyond to make me happy. Just being the best version of yourself is enough. But I had to learn that for me too. I can pour into you, but I can pour into you when I have poured into myself. That was the pill. I couldn't even put it to even try and swallow it. I said, what? I gotta heal. I gotta pray. I gotta ask myself questions. I gotta learn habits. I have to ask myself, why are you not in my life anymore? Why is this person my friend? Why was I comfortable with telling myself that I wasn't attractive? Why was I okay with telling myself that I want to live like them instead of finding that happy peace within myself? That was the hardest part, because in order to do that, you have to first look into the lack. But the lack is not the truth. The lack is just a mindset. So I had to get rid of that. Let me shut up. I'm doing too much. Because we're going to be here 3 days messing with me.
40 days and 40 nights. Okay. All right. So, okay. I think within the sum of this conversation, you've already kind of talked about some really happy moments, right? Some really happy moments. But I kind of want to talk a little bit more granular about the process of being a content creator. What does that process like really entail? Because and transparency purpose, my create this podcast in mind of my students, right? And so I really want to paint a realistic view of what it actually looks like to become a full-time content creator. Or if you are, a part-time, like just what does it look like to be in this space?
It's crazy. A young lady recently DM'd me and she was like, oh, I'm feeling so sad that my content's not taking off, right? I've been working so hard, putting in the work, and it's not going the way that I want it to. I had to learn that process is the most important part about becoming a content creator. We have seen so many overnight sensations that we believe that, oh, this the one is going to get me out the hood. And the truth is, you should always feel that way about your content. You should never this might make numbers. You should always feel like your best is your best is your best, right? But the hard part when it comes to being a content creator is that the reality, everybody named mama is trying to be a content creator. So there's a huge pool. Although everyone has their section, right? You have the fitness gurus, you got the makeup girlies, you got the spiritual people, you got the do-it-yourselfers, you got the outfit. There's different types. And even within that realm, there's so many umbrellas. I think what the hardest part for me, or not the hardest part, but the easiest part that made content creating fun again was I wasn't trying to fit in someone else's box. I started building my own. So any person that really wants to get into content creating, yes, I get it. This is what's trending. This is what's popular. I stopped keeping up with that. I used to do the trending transitions. I used to use the trending audios. I used to, oh, this is what they're doing. Let me hop on it because I wanted to be in the flow. But then I realized that that's not my flow. Because if I don't want to flow with you, like some stuff I'm not down to do, I don't like it. There was one thing that was trending. All the makeup artists were doing it, and I remember people in my DMs like, "You gotta do it, you gotta do it," and I was like, "That's not even me.
That's not my
But
style.
because it was popular, I'm thinking about the numbers. That was
Mm.
my main thing. When you separate your numbers, your views, your follower count, it will start to come. I had to
Mm.
realize, like, what I've learned is that when you are in your full potential and you're working fully, doing what you genuinely love, and it does not feel like work, the
Come
followers are
on.
going to come, the views are going to come, the
Yeah.
money's going to come, the opportunities are going to come. But
Yeah.
you got a flow of yourself. So any person that wants to get into content creating, the first thing that I ask them is, what version of yourself are you comfortable being yourself in front of the camera? I
Mm.
had to be okay with talking about my HS. People that knew me, they'll be sitting right next to me. You'll be inside of my house. I will
Mm.
be talking to you. You won't even know that I have HS
You won't
because
even
I
know.
wasn't in that flow. But now
Yeah.
I've gotten to a place where I'm comfortable to talk about it. So I can be creative. I can be myself. I can do what I want. I can say what I want without, oh, this isn't going to go viral. This isn't going to be trending. One of the
Mm.
videos I was talking about the products that I use for my HS. Till this day, I posted that video 2 months ago. It is still going viral till this day. And
Wow.
other videos, I'm telling you, Hassan, I will be recording. This don't look good. Delete, try again. Over and over, hours and hours, maybe 2,000 views, maybe 1,000. Now, there's someone that's big. But for someone like me who has 38,000 followers, it's like you got to at least pull 2,000
At
up.
least.
At least. Like, I'm like, okay, Liz, it's only 200 views. Like, what's
Look, I be
up?
like, where my followers? Dang,
Tripping. Like, this is
300,
too
300 views? God, where
right. And
y'all at?
so I had to realize that the best effort is me being myself. And so any person that wants to get into content creating, find yourself first. Because
Mm.
if you try to find yourself through the content, you're going to lose yourself trying to keep up with this facade that you
Ooh.
created. I had
Oh,
to stop. I try to
wow.
be like everyone else. I try to keep up with the Joneses. And it's like, why am I trying to keep up with the Joneses? I'm not a Jones.
Mm.
So why am I trying to keep up with you? Like, I'm myself. And so I just started doing me. Like now I'm like, I want to be myself. And whatever that may look like, I was afraid to post videos of me just talking, being Aisha. I was like, no, they're not going to like that. Please. I talked about how African versus African American, like just, I don't know how to make spaghetti, but I know how to make spaghetti.
Yeah.
So viral. Again,
Yo, that's really facts. Yo, there's really spaghetti and there's spaghetti. Like,
there's
those is not
spaghetti,
the
then there's
same.
spaghetti. Fried fish, then there's fried fish. There's pancakes, then there's pancake. So seriously, but
My
I
goodness.
was being myself. Like that was me venting to my TikTok. Like, y'all, I don't know how to make basic food. Like my boyfriend is American, and I want to be able to make food that he likes, but that I also
Well,
like. But I'm making things the African way, and it's not fair.
and he like, what?
He like, baby, why you got cloves in the rice? I'm like, you don't know the cloves for the flavor. Why you got the this and that? But I had to realize that, we literally just come from different backgrounds. So I wanted to make sure
Yeah.
that he feels seen in what he wants. But now, don't get me wrong, like he obviously loves African food, and I want to make sure that I give that to him in all ways. But I also want to make sure that I'm feeding what he likes and what I like too. I like spaghetti. I'm always on spaghetti, right? I like lasagna.
It's not to
I
be
always
time
want like
spaghetti. Sometimes you just want
sometimes you just want a little bit of the meatball and the tomato sauce is okay. You don't have to go put beef. You don't have to put Maggi. You don't have to put ball pepper. It's okay. Relax. The recipe is simple, my dear.
Yo, that is facts, yo. Africans be
So
making the most simple
the
joint.
most.
Adding 3 onions, 2 tomatoes, and some
Bruh.
habaneros.
I said, Mommy, I want a tuna sandwich for school. We had a field trip. I will never forget this. Tuna sandwich. It's simple. Tuna, mayonnaise, maybe a little bit of salt and pepper. Finish. Oh, no. Not Asi. Not my
But
mother.
where she put it?
She cut the onion. She put the pepper, African pepper. This is a spicy tuna.
Yo,
Okay, not on your wheat bread. No. On the big old African. You know the African sweet bread.
oh,
But it was bust down though. Like it's
like yo, I'm really thinking about eggs. You know when they make egg like omelet?
it's not omelet. It's omelette.
Man, they just make yo. I'm
Omelette.
like, I just wanted some egg, fried egg on
I
the
just want
bread.
eggs, a little
Good.
salt, a little pepper, maybe a tomato here and there.
Man, it is turned into a
Side,
gourmet
they put
meal.
chicken, there's cheese, there's beef, there's okra. Inside the egg. Inside the egg. Like, come on. We gotta be better at this. So again, that was me being genuine. Like I cannot, like people don't understand the difference. Don't come to my house saying, "Oh, I should make a fried chicken." No. I'm making fried fall. It's not. It's not the same. Don't come over here looking for mac and cheese.
Over here talking about yo, nah, son. Oh my god, nah.
But yeah, so essentially, when that video went viral, and I actually don't cringe watching that because I connect with it. That's me genuinely being myself. So when I started realizing that I was so ashamed of the fake content that I was making, I wouldn't even rewatch my content because I'm like, oh my god, I remember how stressful that was for me, or oh, I hated the way that I thought about myself. Yeah, some content of my own I can't watch. I'll just scroll past it. I can't see it because it brings me that much anxiety. So when I realized that my content should not make me anxious, it shouldn't give me anxiety, I said, I got to change something. So I said, the best thing that I could do is be myself. I used to be weird when people tell me I'm funny. I didn't know what that meant because, again, being funny is not good. You want to make joke? You think
yeah. Nah, son.
So I was just
beware. Beware of somebody when a woman is too funny, you gotta beware because it's scary out here. You can't.
Ooh.
I know it is. Listen, you can't, but you gotta relax on the funny. But you are really that girl. Like you be having me.
Thank you. You know what's really crazy? And this is again how I know God is so amazing. I don't want to say crazy. He just does mysterious things. So back in like 2015, 2016, I used to make funny African videos, like little skits. I was actually the first female to make African skits. This is when Instagram first dropped their videos. At the time, it was African Ape and this other guy, and I'm forgetting his name. I think it was like Dio or something like that.
Yeah, I think
only them two. It wasn't even oh god, what's that guy's name? Oh god, what is his name? He came out a little bit later. This is around the Don't Judge Me era.
Don't
Not Don't Judge Me. It was another guy.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
No, even further back.
Even further back.
2014. Hold on, he has a song here that I downloaded because I
was Valentine's is coming. No,
not him. Chief Obi.
Chief Obi. Yeah. Chief Obi.
Is Valentine's is coming? No.
It was somebody else that was doing Valentine's. But Chief Obi was back in the day.
Like these were the guys that were popular. They had just started, and so I'm African. I make my friends laugh all the time, so I used to just record videos. And at the time, those videos would go viral. I even created. Y'all better not take my idea. I'm gonna fight you. But I created an African Bad Girls Club where girls from different parts of Africa will make like a Bad Girls Club video, but being African. Because I'm like, people really don't understand how funny African people are without they're like, oh, I'm going to go and feed my monkey. Like, no, right? So I wanted to change that narrative. And when I started to notice that people were picking up on that, I got scared and I deleted all my videos. I didn't delete them, I archived them. And I stopped. But a lot of my followers, a big chunk of my followers came from that side of me. But I was so ashamed of that girl because I was afraid that people wouldn't accept me for who I really am. They just wanted this African girl, which is great. I am African, but there's so much more to me than just that. But what I realized was that people miss that. my old followers would be like, when are you gonna drop the African videos? And I was like, oh, my American followers.
Right.
No shade, no tea, but I'm African.
Yeah, no tea,
So
no
it was
shade.
crazy that the first video that I posted back on my page, mixing the African and a little bit of my American side in that video, went viral.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, God, you're telling me that this version of myself that I was once embarrassed of is truly me. And I just have to sharpen my tool to be able to use it in its proper. So I know I kind of went off of the tangent, but that's literally how amazing God is, and how slight He shows you things. It's up to you to pick up on that message. And so I just decided I'm gonna be myself. And if you like it, cool. It's 1 billion people on here. This little 30,000 that follow me, that's not even a city.
That's not even a city. It could be even more.
Yeah, exactly. Like, please, I'm going to the wrong country.
Amen. That's it. So okay. Wow. No, you're really dope.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Let's so I'm curious, right? If I was to think about like the money, what's the money making aspect of actually being successful on social media look like? So how do we go from viral to actually making a sustainable living?
I'm going to be very, very honest with y'all. That is my current challenge. So although I love creating content, I literally have a household to take care of. Like, I have a home that I have to take consideration. I have bills to pay, a car to take care of, and dreams that I want to fulfill. And I wasn't sure how people made money, but I knew that there were ways to do it. I just didn't know how to tap into it. Because I knew that getting brand deals and working with companies and they have a certain depiction of how they want you to be. And again, that was a hard part for me, because it's like, well, I don't look like them. I don't act like them. I'm not this girl. So I'm not making money. I really didn't start making money from my content until 2021, maybe, when Instagram introduced Reels Pay. I was like, oh my God, I'm finally reaping the benefits of my content.
Yeah.
I think the most I ever made was $200 and some change. That's after having 2 videos hit 3 million views. I have videos that hit millions, not a dime seen from it. Other videos hit 13K, 20K, 50K, 100K, 300K, 900K, nothing. 200 was the max. Instagram just recently took those away. The little $200, $100, $80, $50 that I'll get, I'll say, okay, I'm going to use that to bills or to get food or to put gas in my car, whatever. Instagram ended up taking that away. So now I'm back to like my starting point, but again, I'm attacking it differently. I'm moving in a much more different place. Who would have thought that talking about this condition HS that I have, the company that I'm using their stuff that literally changed my life, is like, look, we want to pay you. We want to pay you just to talk about your experience with having HS. Amazing, crazy. Now, I'm not saying they couldn't, but we don't get there.
Yeah.
But it took me having to say no to a lot of brands that didn't fit. I had to learn the power of the word no. Because I was like, any brand that come to me, I'm going to take it. Some of these brands don't even want to pay you. Oh, we'll just send you this for free. Make a video. Your video go viral on their page. Now they're making money off of your revenue, and you're at home sleep broke. No money. I said, no, we're not doing that no more. So again, being intentional. If a brand reaches out to me, do you have a budget? Yes or no? If it's something that I believe in and they're like, no, like, we don't, but I trust the product, I know it's good, okay, we can settle something. But if you're trying to sell me on talking about a cigar, I ain't never picked up a cigar.
Right.
I'm not going to advertise that for you at all. So it's easier now because you have places like TikTok, and you can create good content. These brands will reach out to you, but it really is it's a matter of kind of making your own revenue. Like, how do you want to get paid? Again, right now, I know TikTok still pays. I'm not getting paid on TikTok. Instagram, I wasn't paid. paid, but I'm not getting paid anymore. So now it's like, unless someone wants to actually give me their money to create content, like, oh, we have this outfit, this bag, this purse, if you don't mind talking about it, if you don't mind showing on it, da 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 da. But even those, I'm not going to pick up something that I don't genuinely want to talk about, because then it's going to be much harder for me to make that money. Because now it's a task instead of an exciting moment for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
I'll go ahead.
no, go. So okay, just to clarify, because wow, that was really helpful. I had no idea, right? I'm like, I'm new here. Uh,
Right.
so like, okay, how do you? So part of your large following, you have lots of you've made lots of viral content, and that leads to brands wanting to reach out to you, and then they will pay you for the amount of money for like to advertise their product, so they could pay you per post or they could pay you per reel or
Whatever they're looking for.
got it. And then the other way that you can make money, does it ever land you into like opportunities like doing other people's makeup still? Does it land you into like how does it yeah, are the opportunities transferable in that way as well? Where like you're I don't know, or do you also still have to create? Like what does that look like if
Yeah,
there's
if I'm understanding the question correctly, yes and no. So being back home in Maryland, it
Mhm.
was easy because I had people that knew that I did makeup, right?
Got it.
So it was more so like, I'm gonna just hit up Aisha because I got this event to go to, and she could do it for me real quick and she's good at it, yada yada yada. But now being out here in Charlotte, nobody knows me. So I
Mm.
do have to be a lot more intentional about the content that I'm making, advertising the fact that I'm a makeup artist and stuff. But I haven't. And I think it's because I love doing makeup, but I started to lose my passion for it because it became a job. And I started
Mm.
to not look forward to it anymore. But again, this is how, fast forward, how God works. I haven't done makeup in so long. I miss it. I genuinely do miss it.
Uh,
My own face for so long and it's great. I love it. But I miss interacting with people. I miss talking to people. So God said, go to Sephora. And I was like, Sephora? What are you talking about? I was against it. God, people been telling me you need to work for Sephora, you need to work for Mac, you need to work for Ulta, da da da. But I just never wanted to do those brands because I'm like, they care more about the sales than they do the people. I don't want that. I want to be able to talk to people and build real relationships. I'm not trying to. You should buy this lipstick. It's so good for you.
Yeah.
Your basket. I don't want that.
Right.
So I don't want to draw that story out, but to make a long story short, I had no choice but to go back to Sephora. And I think that that was probably the best decision that I ever made for myself, because when I trusted God in that message of going to Sephora, I literally just got my first makeup booking a few days ago, and someone just reached out to me again. Now, the crazy part about it is neither of them are from Charlotte. One of
Wow.
them is from New Jersey, and she wants to fly me to New Jersey to do her makeup.
Come on.
Another girl is
Come
coming
on.
to Charlotte
Come
just
on.
to do her makeup. So
Wow.
it took me trusting God in the season of, yeah, just a prom, just graduation, just a birthday. God's like, girl, I got
My God.
full
You
pay,
trying to
Woo!
and it's
And
so messed up because we try to put our human brain to try to
mm,
think about what God could do.
so small.
Our limited
Like, oh man, I'm a freaking genius. I'm smart. God said, let me come out and show you how
limit.
stupid you are. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I never, ever thought I'd be in this position now where this other woman wants to fly me to Germany to do her makeup for her daughter's wedding. Germany? Who I know in Germany?
Sure. Hey.
But I'm feeling no
Hey.
sense, man.
Hey. Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
again, with my story, I want to say yes, creating the content, da, 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 but it really is just trusting your process. Sometimes where you are right now, it's not always where you're going to be. There are so many people that would tell you, I started off making content showing you how I put my shoes on. I
Mm.
didn't know that I was going to create a brand that creates cooking utensils. I didn't even talk about my, but
Right.
that's how God works sometimes. So I just say being your literally operating in your full, highest, best version of yourself and trusting that there is something bigger and better for you on the other side. That
Mm.
if you just put in the work right now, I promise you there'll be a point in time where you'll sit down and be like, I was crying about applying to Sephora. They selling my products now. They cutting me. They're cutting me
Your
checks.
checks.
Not
Ooh,
on no payroll. No, no, no.
come
We want
on.
to pay you to put your stuff in our store.
Come
That's where I am. I was praying to God. You know, I have this brand called the Powder Box. It's a luxury makeup brand, right? And for years, I'm like, this is gonna be good. Da, 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 da. But I keep telling myself it's on my vision board, which again, how I know God is so crazy. I'll even show
on.
you.
Come
I
on.
have a picture of Sephora in the
Uh,
corner here with my brand on it. And God said, well, go into Sephora and learn how the business works so you can come in and put your stuff in there. I said, you ever just be like, oh,
like
shoot.
faster. Go
Yeah.
quick.
It's like, what? But
But
that's
you
how God works. Like, again, I didn't, Sephora, hell no, I work with celebrities. What do you mean working Sephora? But
mm,
again, God said, I'm not putting you in there to go show off. I'm putting you in there to learn. And I
mm.
said, all right now,
But
I'm
you
going to
gotta
learn.
be obedient. You have to be obedient
Obedient.
to hear it. Because
Yeah.
if you're not obedient, you won't hear it, right? And
You
I feel like
won't.
if I just recap your journey, right? You've been
Yeah.
obedient to yourself. You've talked well about yourself. You've showered yourself with love. You showered yourself with rest. You showered yourself with fun, with joy, right? You've been obedient to yourself. You've been intentional about you. And so now it's easy for God to also be for you to also be obedient to God and just watch
Yeah.
opportunities unfold right
Yeah.
in front of you. So I think that's just what it sounds like to me. It sounds like God is rewarding your obedience for you pointing to yourself. And now it's just, yeah, just go this way, right? Just
Yeah.
let's just steer this way and just watch things unfold. Um, oh my goodness. Girl, I could be talking to you. Oh, all right. So here's what I'm gonna do, right?
Okay.
Because I you know coming up on time. But but I want to, still give you the opportunity to share. Like if there's any last minute things you think maybe your high school self would need to know. Um,
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. I, first off, let me give y'all a scenario. If I could go back, I would literally if I could literally be this Aisha in the past, go back to my high school, I would even say maybe about my sophomore year, the first thing I would have done was given her a hug.
Mhm.
Um, and the second thing that I would have told her was that you are going to be a bigger purpose than the idea that you've created, or that, excuse me, not that you've created, that other people have created for you.
Mm.
I would also probably tell her that I wouldn't change anything that I went through. Every once in a while, I would be like, oh, if I could do it all over again, I'd do it a different way. But the truth of the matter is that I probably would do it the same way. I think the only difference was that I might have prayed to God a little faster. Why
Got
would
the
have did
karma
that?
cleaned out just a little quicker.
Yeah, just a little bit. I was tripping, like. But yeah, no, I would definitely just tell myself that, you know, the journey is going to be difficult,
Mm,
but the outcome is going to be beautiful.
mm,
Trust yourself. Go to God. Pray.
mm.
Pray. I never understood about prayer. I didn't know how powerful prayer was. And I think because I thought it was on your hands and knees, thank you, Lord, for this day.
Right.
And go down. I don't even
Right.
talk to God. I talk to God like he one of my homeboys. I'd be like, God, you got
Yeah, yeah.
messed up in this Sephora. Okay, this lady don't know
Mm.
what foundation she wants. She's stressing me out. But I stopped feeling so, I stopped looking at God as this impossible person. And if I could tell that to young Aisha, I feel like that might have kickstart something in me to realize that yes, God is big, but it's not that he's unreachable. It's not that he's obtainable. It's not that he's unable to get or manifest myself in, I have to be okay to receive the greatness that he has to offer and trust myself in that journey.
Mm,
So it would be a difficult conversation because young Aisha was very whitewashed, very insecure, very unsure. But I believe that all I needed was someone to pour into me and telling me that I'm going to be good. If I
mm,
just trust my intuition, practice my intuition, not relying on other people's ideas of me, but creating my own, because that's me. That's who I actually am.
yeah.
So yeah, I hope that makes sense. High school, I should probably look at me like, girl, first of all,
Right. First of all,
like, first of all, girl, why do
no.
you look like that? Like, first of all, I thought we were supposed to be skinny. What is going
Facts.
on here?
Yeah, they would have been trying to be an
Yeah,
asshole.
for
Um,
sure. For
oh
sure.
my goodness. I wrote something yesterday, and
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna read a little bit of it.
Okay.
I said, I decree with God, I will
Mhm.
return kindness in all ways that are righteous and true.
Mm.
All I do and say is righteous and there for me to connect with. I inspire others to be the best version of themselves. People notice that about me. People love the way I inspire others. They compensate me greatly with their words and generosity. I am greatly appreciated for all the wisdom, knowledge, and perspective I bring. And I think you being here today was indeed perfect.
Yeah.
Think that anything is, like you shared, a coincidence. I am so honored that we had an opportunity to talk,
Yes.
and that um, I know that you probably talked a lot, but you made me feel safe, right?
Oh, good.
Yeah, and so I only hope that I reflected back to you
A
what
million. I
I'm
wouldn't have
glad.
talked. I would have been like, okay, yeah. So guys, like, illuminate.
No, for sure. But it was a blessing. And truly, I'm so excited for all the things that you're going to continue to do. And then what's the brand? Powder
So
Box?
yes, the powder box.
So we
Um,
just gonna manifest the Powder Box into reality.
$1 million. It's $1 million business. It's a
Yeah,
multi-million-dollar business.
it's
Yeah. I
million.
don't. I don't know what you guys.
Multi-billion. It's
But
multi-billion. It's
yes,
multi-billion,
a
right?
multi-million business. Yeah, super successful, well known around the world, shipping to
For
every
sure.
city and helping
Oh
them complete their interview.
goodness. Listen, why can't it be? Right?
Yeah.
Why couldn't it
What else?
be?
Yes.
Man, Aisha, it is a blessing to have you here.
Thank
It's
you.
Flapjack. Thank you so much for once again for tuning to the Shine Collective podcast. Thank y'all, and it's a wrap. Bye.